Yes, there are days. Okay. And category. Probably should have checked to see if I've got drops going on or not, but we'll catch up with that later. All right, let's change to my posting. That post will pop down. Already have the puzzle loaded up. We are doing Sudoku Puzzle 244 in the medium collection of 1,000 puzzles from the Sudoku store on BlueSky. And I've got it loaded up, I think. Let's see if it checks out okay. That checks out, and we've got a timer going. All right. Let's see. One of these two is going to be one. If we have success, or we had some success with the technique I used yesterday, so we may be trying that again, which is as soon as I start seeing solutions that I can work with, I will be fixing those, as opposed to just waiting until I've got the entire a collection of earmarks in. I do not think this is the fastest solution. Just, and it's supposed to be a 2, not a 3. Just the solution I have to work with at the moment. All right, 1s and 2s are filled. And one of these two is going to be a 3. Got lots of options here. Over here, we've got a few fewer. A couple fewer. And a couple fewer here. And also a couple fewer here. But over here, we've got 5 of them, or 5 cells as possibilities. But all over here, we got all 8 or 7 available cells as possible for the moment. All right, 4s. And I know I've got 3 possibilities here, 4 here, 4 here, 3 here. Over here, it looks like I've got 5. 6 here, I think. I don't see any conflicts with those. And 4 here. All right, 5s. One of these two is going to be a 5. I've got a solve 5 here. Doesn't fix anything really significant yet, but that one was a fixture. Okay, we've got 2 possibilities here. 3 here. 4 here, it looks like. And we've got those 2 already. So, off to the 6s. And it looks like I've got 4, not 8s. 6s. Like I've got 4 6 here. Alarm was going off saying that it's midnight. Time for me to do a couple of different things. Include get this thing posted. And tomorrow's puzzle, or today's, I guess it's not today's puzzle. All right. 6s are what we were working on here. Everything's an option here. Not quite so much here. It looks like we're down to 3. And 3 here. Leaving us with 2 here. No, none there. Got one already. All right. However, here we've got 3 possibilities. And 3 possibilities here. All right, 7. Like we've got 2 possibilities up here. 2 here. 2 here. 3 here. 4 here. And everything else is now earmarked or solved. Okay, we've got an 8 here. One of these two will be an 8. And I've got 3 possibilities here, 3 possibilities here as well. Over here we've got 4 possibilities. And it looks like 2 possibilities here, and all kinds of them up here. All 6 possible cells. All right, now let's look at the 9s. We've got a 9, not a 9 here. One of these two will be a 9. It looks like one of these two will be a 9. One of these two is a 9. That means we've got a 9 here, one possibility here, which doesn't affect all that much. All right, we got a standalone. Well, here we've got a 5. Here we've got what looks like a 4. We'll go with it for now. I'm not going to spend a lot of time testing things out to make sure I've got it absolutely right, unless I start seeing some significant issues with things going awry. All right, that becomes a 7. Neither of these can be an 8, so that's a 4. That's a 5. This is a 1. 3, 3, so that's a 5. 8, 6, 8, 9, 6, 9, 6. Not a 5 there. Not a 5 here. Not a 1. Not a 4. Not a 4. 3. Another 4 nor 3. Another 2 nor 3. Now, this is a 4, 6, 8, and 1. That turns this into a 7. This is 3. This is a 4 and 6 here. 2 here. And another 2 here with an 8. 9 here. 8, 3, 5, 3, 8, 3. So this is a 5. This becomes a 6. 5, 3, 8, 3, 8, 3 at the top. So that's a 5. Let's see. 3 here. 8 up at the top. We get a 3. This is not a 2. 3. Becomes an 8. Looks like we got a 9 and 6 here now. 1 here. Oh, that's a broke. All right. So did I miss something over with that on one of these ones? Nope. Something else is broken. All right. Let's go back to the beginning. Not to the very beginning, but to where I said, yeah, I'm not going to check until or unless I've got recognizable conflicts. Okay. Now we started with this being a 4, and what we ran into is the problem is 8 or 1 in one of these two squares or cells. All right. So we got a bunch of 1s in here, a pair up here, and a pair here. We narrow this down. Okay, we got a 1 there, so that doesn't narrow down any. One of these two is a 1. Neither of them look like they're going to be 4. Let's go ahead and let's check that 4. In the square, I've got a 1, 2, and a 3. Down the column, I've got a 5. In the row, I've got a 6. In the square, I've got a 7. In the column, I've got an 8. In the row, I've got a 9. So that is a 4. So we can clean up these 4s all around. Means one of these two is a 4. We get a 4-3 pair here with a 4-2-3. Excuse me. Here as a 2. So let's check that. Well, yep. That takes care of that square. So not a 2 here. And not a 2 down here. Okay, 4-3-4-3 means this is a 6. Means this can't be, so that's a 7. This becomes a 3. Okay, not a 7, not a 7, not a 6, not a 3, not a 3, 4, not a 6, not a 6. Let's see. So, am I missing one here? We had a 1, 2. That's a given 3. I don't see anything in the row or square otherwise. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we're going with the 3 that there are being there. So none of these that turned red are going to be 3. Here we've got an 8-3-8-3. Means this can't not be an 8. This can neither be an 8 nor a 3. Apparently I have picked up a bug. So this becomes a 3. And we'll leave the 4 for the moment. Nope, actually we can solve it. 4 and 6. Because we've got the 6 above this one, and the 2 left in the row were 4 and 6. Alright, so not a 4 there or there. Not a 6 there or there. Not a 3 there. Like this may be a 9. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, I see. 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't see an 8 as a conflict. Ah, yes, I do. 8, 1, 8, 1. And this 8, 2 means this is going to be a 2. And that's going to be an 8, 1, 8. So now we can say that with some authority, this is a 9. Not a 9 or a 2. Also not a 1 here. So that's going to become a 4. 1, 4, and 8 are not valid solutions there now. 6, 2, 6, 2. This becomes a 4. 4 and 8 are not valid. 8 or 1 here. That gives us a 7, 5, 7, 5 pair. All right. Now, we got a 1, 6, 2, 6, 7, 6, 1, 8, 7, 4, 2, and 8, 6, 2 in the row. Okay, this is going to be a standalone 5, so we clean that up. This becomes a 6. So let's clean up the 6s in here. They've got a couple of 4s laying around. And before 7, 6, 7, 6, so not a 6. 9 can go in here now. 6 goes here, turns this into a 1. This becomes a 9. That becomes an 8 here. Bring this into a 3 and this into a 1. Turns this into a 2. This becomes an 8. We can now say a 6 and a 2 here. 7 here, 6 here. Not a 2, not a 2. 4, not a 4, 3 and 4. This becomes a 7, not a 7. 5, not an 8 or a 5. This becomes 2. We got a missing number here. 1, 2. This could be a 3. Nope, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. It looks like this is supposed to be an 8. Let's mark it as an 8. 3, 7, 8, 5 here. 7 and 5 up here. And that missing 8 is probably what got me first time through. All right, puzzle took 14 minutes, 53 seconds. I will post the official solution on Blue Sky, and I wish everybody a wonderful day and weekend. See you tomorrow.